Novak Djokovic and Jannik Sinner will have a rematch from last year's Wimbledon. We are halfway to setting the Final Four at the 2023 Wimbledon Championships. Of course, tomorrow, Carlos Alcaraz, as everyone's saying, and Holger-Rune will play for the other spot against Danny Medvedev. And surprise, surprise, Chris Eubanks, the only person who had me even coming close to this far in their draw, was me, Matt from Coffee Break Tennis. Anyways, Novak Djokovic, after winning today, after he beat Andre Rublev, that guy, he said maybe the greatest thing I've ever heard since I've become a tennis fan. This is my favorite. Take a listen.
It doesn't matter if it's Andre or next round you
Andre,
have
Sinner.
You are the one they all want to beat. How do you cope
You have the
with
target
that
on your back, Novak.
mentally? Is
I
it
love it.
pressure?
I love it. It's true.
He can't lie. He's like Abraham Lincoln. He can't tell. Look, there's some baby Joker faces right there. Son and daughter.
Every player wants to be in a position where everyone wants to win against you.
They're taking it all in, and pretty soon they're going to be winning Wimbledon, right? Who do you take? You going to take Djokovic's kids, Nadal's kid, or one of Federer's kids? Who do you like the most to win Wimbledon? I'm going with the Joker's kids. Then Djokovic said that wasn't the best thing. That was great. Okay, he loves it. Who doesn't want to be the top guy, the guy with the target on his back that everyone wants to beat? He's the hottest guy on the block, right? That sounds like a good thing. Then he says this.
You know, I know that they want to get a scalp, they want to win, but it ain't happening still.
It ain't happening. Elena can't believe it. She's like, Novak, I can't believe you actually said it here.
That is the perfect way to
Very
end.
humble.
Very humble. How about that little shrug he does after that? It reminds me of when he answered that dumb question right before the French Open. Was it in Rome after he lost early in Rome? They're like, do you still think you have a chance to win the French Open, Novak? And he's like, yes. Next question, and then like, that's it. That's the answer. Next question, please. And Novak just sits there, kind of smiles like, what do you think I'm going to say? No, I can't win the French Open anymore because I lost this stupid Rome. And then he shrugs his shoulders, looking at somebody else in the room like, hey, it's not my fault he wasted it. He wasted his chance to ask me a question because he asked a stupid question. So is Sinner going to be able to do it? We saw Hubie's serve was able to trouble Djokovic, but the rest of the pieces weren't there, and the mindset, we always knew the mental game wasn't there for poor Hubie. We knew he always had no chance no matter how close he came with his serve. I would have rather had John Isner in his prime going against Djokovic. At least he deep down would believe a little bit, maybe I can beat Djokovic. Hubie never believed. Now we've seen Rublev with the forehand firepower. He was able to trouble Djokovic. Sinner's going to need to do both, right? We know Sinner has the firepower of a Rublev, right? He can bang big from the back. Is he going to be able to hurt where Rublev couldn't, right? Rublev wasn't coming up with drop shots like Alcaraz. And you notice every commentator in the world now saying Alcaraz. Unless you're from Spain, don't even try it. Although I guess I do try languages from all the other countries. Anyways, doesn't matter. I make them sound pretty good. What was I saying? Sinner's got the firepower to challenge. Is the serve going to be there to challenge? We're going to look closely at the stats. We're going to do the math on this and try to figure out, is there any way that anyone can stop Djokovic at Wimbledon this year? Merry Wimbledmas from me to you. Welcome to Coffee Break Tennis Podcast Edition. Happy to have you here. Wimbledmas Podcast Edition. We are so excited. This is going to be great, right? I love that Djokovic said it. He just came right out and said it. It ain't happening. These guys, they suck. Not this year. Probably not next year at Wimbledon. Although I will say, these guys are moving better, right? Watching Holger-Rune especially. Someone who's so young and doesn't have much experience on grass, to see him already moving well on it and beating, I went, remember I said we'll take the hot young guy over Grigor? not realizing what I was really saying. I don't mean he's a hot and young guy. I mean he's a young guy who's hot on tour right now. He's got a hot hand. But the hot young guy won with the hot hand against the hot old guy, Grigor Dimitrov, right? Because he was playing pretty well too, right? You can take it either way. That was a good match, and Grigor wasn't playing bad, and Holger, it looked like it's funny, they say Holger looks beat up or whatever, he's tired. By the way, you see what I did with the arrows? If I have Rune that far and I put a question mark because I'm not sure, I get the win. I get the check mark still. It's the best draw ever. Zverev, I was wrong there, but I was right on either Rune or Grigor being in the quarters, right? I put two options in. That's fair. I make the rules here. It's my show. I was right about Medvedev. I got Eubanks, and obviously I didn't even know who he was going to be playing, and I put a question mark. That was stupid, so I definitely gave myself that, and let's just bump him up. I can, it's like tic-tac-toe. I can jump over him. Wait, is that tic-tac-toe? Chess? Checkers? One of those. It's not chess. So I bounced over him like checkers, and I got it right. I got Meds, I got Eubanks, I got the best draw in the world. On the other side, Sinner versus RBA. All right, I missed that part, but who could have picked? Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the quarterfinals. Who could have picked Safulin, the Russian guy, Roman Safulin? Did anyone see that match today? I was too busy watching the Joker. I had Joker Bublik. Let's just bump Rublev. Another domino effect. We're going to bounce over Bublik with Rublev. We knew it could have gone either way. What matters is I got Joker in 3. Do I still feel that? I don't know. Oh, my God. I probably should have figured out. I should have figured that out before I started rolling the microphone and making a show, right? I probably should have thought this one through. Let's go to the stats, and maybe that'll help us. First, let's look at this. Here's a new stat. Novak Djokovic has tied Roger Federer for most appearances in Grand Slam semifinals. Us Fedheads are over here crossing our fingers, hoping that Novak never plays another major for the rest of his life. That's not happening. So this is a record that will be taken away from Roger Federer. Nadal, don't look, Raw fans. He's way away. Joker's going to have 10 more, at least 10 more, maybe 12, 13, 14, 15 more semifinals than Rafa. We'll see. Can he keep playing? We hope. We sure hope. All right, there's a stat for you. Let's go for, I saw this. This popped up. Sponsored by ATP Tour. Do they know who I am? Do they know who they're targeting? Win a personalized video message from a Breakpoint star. You mean the documentary where everyone lost early in the first round of the Australian Open or had bad luck and got injured? And Nick Kyrgios ditto on the rest of his year? You mean one of those guys? One of those losers? I'm looking at this. They made Taylor Fritz look more friendly than he really is. This is a fake smile from Taylor Fritz. He's not like that. Felix, I'd probably pick Felix. Comment below, who do you want to hang out with from any of this collection of losers from Netflix who didn't win any tournaments? You gonna pick any of these guys? Any major champions there? No. Is Medvedev there? No. I would have picked Medvedev 100% guaranteed. I guess most people would say Kyrgios. I'm kind of scared of Kyrgios, though. What if he's mean? Tifo seems pretty friendly. Berrettini, too handsome. Can't be in the same room with him. Definitely don't want my picture next to him. Casper Ruud. That seems like an obvious choice. Tsitsipas? Nah, no way. All right, me and Casper Ruud would go to a concert together, and I'd show him the Casper Ruud Boy song. That's my choice. Comment below if you disagree and why. Oh, what is Mr. Goat? What the hell is this? Mr. Goat has handpicked some comments. Okay. Danielle Pumala says, Fritz lives rent-free in this man's head. What? What? What does that mean? Like I'm obsessed with Taylor Fritz or something? That's not true. That's absolutely not true. Wait. I mean, I do have the latest edition of Taylor Fritz magazine right next to me still. That doesn't mean anything. Eric Lopez, 17 minutes into this video, the Nosway Jose. That handwriting, though, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't get it. Was it like, when did I show handwriting? Was there handwriting? I didn't show anything like that. I didn't show anyone signing the camera. Do they even do that at Wimbledon? That's other tournaments. No. I doubt that. Mr. Goat says he's talking about my handwriting in the draw. Maybe he's talking about the font on the thumbnail. Maybe he doesn't like the font. Comment below if you have any idea what Eric's talking about. Reza McCartney. Alcaraz says he's been watching Federer for training tips on grass. Another Roger, and another echo of Roger at Wimbledon this year. The inspiration of Roger, right? You can't say, my friend, my poor friend. He's been on Coffee Break Tennis before. Gainsey, he goes to Cincinnati with me and Pete sometimes, and he's been on the video. Poor Gaines. Loves Federer so much, probably because he kind of looks like Federer when Federer was younger. He is a real baby fed. He's got a nice baby face. Still, he's like 22 or something now, whatever he is. Anyways, poor Gainsey. He said, you know, if someone says to me, Matt, that Djokovic is the best and he's a better tennis player than Federer, I'm not going to argue with them and say no, but I just disagree. I just don't think you can say Djokovic is a better player than Federer. Federer is the better tennis player. He's the best ever. And I said, well, you know, you got a nice argument there, Gaines, except for the fact that there's another guy named Novak Djokovic who's a better tennis player than him, right? You get that one thing going against you. And he's like, woo, woo. And I said, look, man, we all agreed it's the Grand Slams that matter. He's got 3 more. He's about to have 4 more. He's going to break every record. I said, the only thing you can say is that Roger Federer looks better. And that's all we're going to have for the rest of the time. So let's just take that. His strokes are nicer to watch. Maybe you can make an argument that his offensive game isolated is still better than Djokovic's, or his offensive game at his best, at his peak, is better than Djokovic's. Maybe you could say that. And even that's close now, because Joker is an offensive machine now. But the biggest difference has always been the reason why Djokovic beats Federer more, other than he's younger. That probably helped a little, right? But still, you know, these guys are going well into their 30s, being highly competitive, and they had a long time to play each other at all different kinds of ages. Djokovic came out way on top, right? Federer had some matches where he got to beat up on Djokovic when he was younger. Not too many of those, though. The biggest difference is that defensively, Djokovic is so much better, right? He can handle so much more defensively than Roger. That's why he's got more French Opens than Roger and was a bigger threat on clay to Rafa than Roger. 2-hand backhand on the return, or the high spinning cross-court forehand from Rafa. He's able to handle a high backhand better than Federer. Just that alone was a big deal. But I'd say overall, he's a better defensive player. Offense, maybe we can make the case that Federer is better, especially in his peak. And do remember the last time they played, Federer won in 2019 in the World Tour Finals on that indoor court, best of 3. Roger didn't have time to get worn out or anything like that. He just came at Joker, hardcore, nonstop offense, and he won that. And that's why that's my screensaver on my computer. So see, I still like Federer. Next comment. Hassan, by the way, I like that Alcaraz has been watching Federer. He better, because people say Alcaraz is a mix of Nadal and Federer, and he needs his Federer side to come out more than his Nadal side if he's going to beat the Joker here at Wimbledon. Hassan says, Matt, I love the channel. One request. On behalf of your fans, can we get the official lyrics to Livin' La Vida? I don't even want to say it because Ricky, by the way, insider information here for you guys. That video, you know, I've said in past, like YouTube ads, I get money from YouTube ads, and it's not great. Like everyone would assume it's way more than it is. You know, there's plenty of videos I do throughout the year where I'll get like $30 or $40 or something like that. But, you know, lately, whatever there is, I don't know, maybe because I don't know what it is, but it seems like around French Open and Wimbledon time, they pay me a little bit more for ads. They're better. And maybe because people are off and vacationing more and they have more time to watch. I don't know, whatever. Maybe because there's no school. I'm not sure. But I get more money and it's good. That Livin' La Vida, ain't gonna say it. That dude who wrote that song for Ricky Martin, because Ricky Martin ain't getting most of it. That video, you know, a lot of people watch it. It's like 50,000 people watch that video almost. So I think I would have got well over $300 in ad, maybe $400, maybe more, maybe $500, something like that in ad revenue from that video. It was a lot, but so far, last time I looked, I've only got $15 from it because the rest went to Ricky Martin. Anyways, I'm going to post the official lyrics, but I'm never going to say anything beyond Livin' La Vie. That's it. I'm not going to say more than that because literally, Cisco, I Googled, I was like, why is Ricky Martin getting all my money? It's okay. I saw like, Matt, you're going to share your profits for your ad revenue with Ricky Martin or whoever gets that money, some record label and the guy who wrote the song for Ricky Martin. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's going to split it 50-50, whatever. That's fine. Sure. And it's a cover. YouTube is so AI intelligent now that it's like, Matt, we've detected this is a cover song. This is not the actual Ricky Martin song. It's a cover. And it's not even a cover. It's a parody cover. But whatever. I thought, okay, that's cool. No, Ricky Martin gets like more than 90% of the ad revenue. How about those apples? I'm posting the lyrics below, Hassan. So anyone who wants to know the lyrics, they're posted below in the description of this video. Those are the lyrics. Just don't say them aloud if they're near a microwave. A microphone. Luka Kalov says, 1988. Ooh, good year. I know it's supposed to be a joke, but at 450, Roddick actually has a positive score versus Djokovic. 5-4 head-to-head. Best all-time any player has versus Novak. Not the most wins. That would be Rafa, I would think. But yeah, with a winning head-to-head, yeah, that's the best. 5-4. Let's take a look at it. First off, Djokovic, best year 2011 in this period, you would say. And they never played. They just happened to not meet in 2011 at all. Roddick is getting him. He gets him the first time in 07. How about that? How do you like those apples, Roddick? Djokovic beats him in 2007. 2008, this is a big win for Roddick because Djokovic just won the Australian Open. This is Dubai after that, a couple months after. 6 weeks after, not even a couple months. Not even, maybe, 1 month after? It's pretty soon after. So Roddick goes and beats him, tie-break in the first. U.S. Open. That was a humiliating loss for Roddick. That was when Roddick was making fun of Djokovic. This is one of the first times someone was went into the media and poked fun at Djokovic, like the little rat, if you recall that. Demon Hour. Not gonna say it. Don't say it aloud. Anyways, whoever commented that was great. I put it in the music video if you want to go watch that. And every time you watch it, just remember every time you watch my music video for Djokovic, that last song, Ricky Martin gets a nickel or a dime or a tiny half a euro piece or whatever, depending where you are. Australian Open, that's pretty good. Defending champ, he retired. Maybe Roddick made fun. I think that's when Federer might have made some comments about this guy always retires. What's wrong with this guy? 2009, Indian Wells, Andy Roddick, 6'3", 6'2", thumped him. All right. Wasn't 2009 when Joker goes into slump mode? I mean, 2008, really. It's after he wins the Australian Open, he has some issues until 2011, right? I mean, he's always there. And Roddick beats him in this period where he's struggling. And then Djokovic gets him again in 2010. And then I think 2010, that was after, okay, so is it Davis Cup 2010, Serbia wins? Is that the story for Djokovic? He starts feeling more confident. And then he goes into 2011 feeling great, and then he wins almost everything. And then 2012, Djokovic beat him again. So the last couple times, Djokovic beat him 6-2, 6-3, 6-2, 6-1. You could argue that if Roddick kept playing, it wouldn't be like how Roddick got one last win against Federer in Miami. It would be like Roddick never beats him again, right? I think from 2010 Cincinnati, it's never happened. Djokovic is struggling these years. And what is it, as a quarterfinal? These are Djokovic's bad years. Quarterfinals on Roddick's best places to play, Cincinnati and Canada, U.S. Hardcourt Series. Right, this is what Roddick has been, doing his whole career, doing well there. Same with Indian Wells the year before that, right? All these matches where Roddick wins in straight sets. That first one, Indian Wells, yeah, but the other ones, they're pretty close. Tie break, 7-5, 6-4s. Those are close matches. You can argue Roddick never beats him again. Because Roddick, he beat Federer because he served out of his mind. And Federer, although he's a great returner and finds a way to break a lot, around that time, that was when Roger started having some issues and wasn't breaking as much and could get a little nervous on his own serve sometimes, right? Whereas Djokovic, and this is why Djokovic had such a hard time with Hubie Hurkacz the other day. Djokovic typically doesn't have to think like that because he's always going to get looks on your serve. He's the greatest returner of all time. That's what has enabled him to build his game and to play with more confidence on his serve because he can think it doesn't matter. Obviously he doesn't want to get broken, but it's not the end of the world if I get broken. I'm always going to have chances to break your serve. So that made it really easy on him to, swing with a loose arm. I think against Hubie, and as Djokovic said, Hubie served much better than I thought he would have, than I think he thought he would have, something like that Djokovic said. And he's right. That was a special performance from Hubie, and I don't know if, that was one of Hubie's best, that was one of the best serving performances you'll ever see, That was like something you would see a John Isner throw in on his better days, right? Or Kevin Anderson when he did so well at Wimbledon. And I'd say he did much better than Kevin Anderson did in that final where Djokovic crushed him in 2018, I think. Yeah, that was the year Kevin Anderson beat Roger on number 1 court. That was Mr. Wimbledon, really. That was a big F up. Let's move on. We can't talk about the past all day. Andy Roddick has a winning record because he retired. And I think he said that himself. He said, I retired before the guy could have another chance to beat me and turn that thing around. Let's look at some stats. Gentlemen's first serve 1 leaders. Djokovic is pretty high up on this list, 84%. I believe he was higher before this match when he had 4 matches. He was at 86. That's insane. Bublik's way up there, but he has lost, right? We knew Bublik's serving great, but he needs other things to work, right? You got to break serve sometimes, even if you're winning that much, because there's a lot of guys on this list. Maxime Cressy, 87%. Well, he lost first round. Huesler, 85%. Well, he lost first round. Sinner, that's scary, but remember, Sinner's a great returner. He's going to make Djokovic's first serve win numbers go down. Djokovic is going to make Sinner's 84% first serve win point number go down even more. How low can he drop it? We'll look and see what he did to Hooby Dooby and to where is Hooby Dooby, by the way? Hooby's here at 82, which is outstanding. Raonic was 82. Got him a win, right? This is a guy who hasn't played at all for like 2 years. So he knew coming in here with nothing else except that serve, 82% was enough to get him a win. And let's see, Dimitrov was serving outstanding, had a good run here. Holger Rune is just, it's like what Djokovic said. That's why I like Holger Rune. I didn't like him, but I saw the writing on the wall pretty quick. This guy's for real. And when he said like he said that they compared him to Djokovic and Murray and said that he's, oh my God, I got to get going. Jeez Louise. I got to be on court soon, so that sucks. Don't worry, we'll get a show where I really messed up having to schedule a lot of things on the second week of Wimbledon. I hate that, but don't worry. Semifinal day, when it really counts the most, we'll have plenty of time. What was I saying? Oh, so they said Holger Rune, like, you guys are so close. You and Alcaraz are only a few days apart. You're just like Djokovic and Murray. And he said, Holger Rune said, well, really, I like to think of myself with Carlos being more like Roger and Rafa. Isn't that great? And then Rune also had said before, like, I see myself being in a big four or a big three with Sinner and Alcaraz and myself. And everyone made fun of him, but he was already starting to have some big results, and had been. And then he really took off after he said that. When he said that, I was like kind of laughing at him and expecting like, okay, buddy, this is gonna look bad when you have some really crappy results. But he didn't. He's just been getting better and better. And to have that kind of confidence, it reminds me of what Djokovic said today. It's nice to have a target on my back. I know these guys want to get a scalp. Can you imagine Roger or Rafa saying get a scalp? They're like way too corporate and guided to say something like that, right? Or, they protect the brand at all costs. Djokovic, I'm sorry if you hate him, but he seems a little more authentic to me. Warts and all, right? Sometimes people don't like Djokovic being so honest with his personality when he's getting really angry and stuff like that. But hey, at least it's the real guy. And I know some people say like Roger and Rafa are fake and stuff. I don't think they're like that. But, I think Pete Freeman for Crunch Time Coaching was the first people to point this out. Like, they're awesome. They're really nice guys. Love Roger and Rafa. But they got a little bit of that corporate, protect the brand at all costs flavor, a little bit more so than Djokovic. I mean, everyone has to do that when you're that famous. Djokovic has to do it a little bit too, but not like them. Oh, there's a deer. If we had the camera on, you could see a giant deer walking by the window right now. Anyways, first serve one leaders. This is outstanding to see Djokovic this high. Sinner, really impressive. I think his number is going to get hit harder by Djokovic's return than vice versa. Eubanks is on this list, 80%, and he's doing more, right? There's a lot of guys on this list who lost. Like Felix Auger at 80% loses in the first round. Sonego, 80%. Wawrinka, at least he got some wins, right? Oscar the Odd at 79, only got one win. You need a little more to be working for you in your game right now. So outstanding from Eubanks. I'm amazed by Eubanks, and I'm happy to say that I had him going halfway there in my draw, and officially and unofficially, I was right about. I called all this. Second serve points, not as important, and you can see why. Like, guys who lost are on the top of this list, but Sinner is up there with 64%. I mean, it's definitely not a bad thing when you got those first serve numbers plus this. It's pretty good. And Djokovic is right there, right? Those are the only guys who are backing up the second serve. Sinner, I've always said Sinner, this is why I liked him early on. I said he reminds me so much of Djokovic, except he looks like he has like longer limbs and maybe can hit the ball. And hits the ball hard. Not maybe, he does hit the ball harder. Zverev was pretty high up on there. I'm shocked Zverev didn't keep it going. Anyways, not as important here at the Wimbledons. Clay, it's more important than second serve number, but it's still important. First serve in percentage, big one here, and very interesting. This is something I've said in the past. It always confuses people. If the number's too high, it's bad. You're not taking enough risk. You're not going for enough. You're being too careful with your serve. It's not as effective. Your first serve is for attacking, not for being careful. Ramos Vinolas, first round loss. Guido Pella, He's up there. He's the only person winning that's up high in the Schwartzman, Shorty D. Yeah, we know he's not putting enough on the serve, so he's got to make it go in a lot. But all these guys lost early who were getting the serves in too much. The number needs to come down. Let's see. When we get this Zverev and Jari, now we know they're not taking anything off. They're getting it in a lot, and they're hitting it big. We go down to Shelton. Same deal. You know, inexperience there. Eubanks, he needs, I think this is why, because the rest of his game is not like that serve, right? His return game, he's been really clutch here, but I think like his luck could run out against Medvedev. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to give him a chance to beat Medvedev. I really am. And they played at Miami, and maybe we'll get a chance we'll get a chance to talk again and break down that match a little bit and preview that more, because that's really interesting to me. But I mean, I'm going to pick Medvedev here, but Eubanks getting the high win percentage on first serve and the high percentage in, you know, he's not lollipopping these things in. He's a hot hand on serve right now. He's putting on, speaking of like special serve performances like what Hubie Hurkacz did, Eubanks is doing that. And I told you guys, even though I picked Tsitsipas, I said, and I wanted to say he's going to lose. It's just hard to believe that Eubanks was going to beat Tsitsipas just because of the names alone. But think about Tsitsipas playing Isner. Remember when Tsitsipas said he hated playing Isner and he kept losing to him for a little bit there? It's just, you know, like same thing with Djokovic, what he felt, and Tsitsipas just can't handle it. Djokovic is able to find a way, but you know, all of a sudden you're used to winning on your serve pretty easy, but when you're also used to getting some games on return, when you feel like you can't break the guy, right? Djokovic only broke Hubie Hurkacz one time. He still wins. That's amazing. If you feel like I'm never going to break this guy, you can break down mentally, and we know Tsitsipas can lose it mentally. So yeah, that's not good. Let's move on. Anyone else on this list? There's no one on this list who's winning a lot. Hubie Hurkacz was there. Another example of someone just putting on an amazing serving performance. He would keep winning if he played anyone else, I think. The way he played, Djokovic, the only person in the world who could have beat him. All right, I want to get out of here. So hit the music. This is the big thing to me. And we're not going to look at the Hubie Hurkacz stats I wanted to do. I had some stuff in Eubanks. We'll do it another time. Take a look at this. So what Rublev did early on was he was really able to hurt Djokovic on the second serve. And Djokovic was able to change that. So let's take a look. Overall match stats. The winners to unforced is much more positive for Djokovic, right? Less unforced errors, more winners. But let's take a look at that first serve. Like, we'll see, like, the numbers look good here. Djokovic is winning in every single statistic here. One less ace, one less double fault. We'll call that a tie. But now let's look at the big spread here. Set 1 versus set 3. Those are the closest sets here, well, for Rublev. So he wins set 1, obviously. And if you look at the numbers there, Djokovic is only getting 50% of his first serves in. And he's only winning 57, which isn't terrible numbers for, but he's getting only half in. So that made some openings. And you look, he only had, one chance to break, and he did. And Djokovic didn't have any chances to break, right? Djokovic not playing his best in that first set, and Rublev was definitely playing well. And let's see, Rublev was getting in a ton of first serves, 65 and winning 77, right? He's taking it up, right? If he was getting over 70, he'd be too careful. And Rublev doesn't have to hit a ton of second serves. Remember, that's one of his weaknesses. Rublev's second serve. It's gotten better over the years, but it can be, especially for Djokovic, something he can look to attack. Look at the third set. This is amazing to me. Djokovic's first serve stayed up to 66, and second serve, same number, but he wins this set, but the set was close, if you remember. Not a lot of chances for Djokovic here. He had 2, he broke once. Remember, Rublev has 5 chances, can't convert here. Djokovic is so clutch. That's just mental strength, the way he came through that set. So there you go. Djokovic not getting first serves in enough, not feeling it in the first set, and loses that. Didn't go down 2 sets to love like in the past we've seen happen with some of these young guys. Djokovic just locked that thing down. I love that second set response, 6-1, giving the shove that breadstick down his throat. Incredible performance from Djokovic, because both Rublev and Hubie Hurkacz, I think, came in with nothing to lose and threw everything they had at Djokovic, and they just proved that this guy is unbeatable. I love the stats, the group stats for Djokovic, winning that high number on first serves. I think that's going to work against everyone here. Someone's going to have to put on an amazing serving display and be able to bang balls from the baseline like Rublev did today. And on top of that, have a little variety, be able to put in some drop shots and come to net sometimes to mix it up on Djokovic. Can Sinner be the guy to do that? I don't know. Alcaraz, maybe. I'm starting to have a feeling that Sinner maybe gets a set. Maybe he gets 2 sets again, but Djokovic wins that. As the Joker fan that I am now, I'm a born-again Joker fan. I'm a little scared of Carlos in the final. Although, what about the cramps at the French Open? Should we really be scared? Comment below your thoughts. We'll be back. See you!